Okay, so I'm recording this video because your mom said you were having a little bit of trouble doing surface area. So there's actually a class in here. So if you hear me stopping and getting onto them, it's because there's a class in here, and I'm gonna turn down this volume. Okay, so your mom gave you this packet, and it's all the Release Star surface area questions. So we're gonna go over. I think there's like 7 of them. So I have my mathematics chart in front of me, and remember, you don't have to memorize the formula because you will have a mathematics chart. So this first question basically is asking me to find the total surface area. So remember, there's going to be 2 types of surface area. There's going to be regular surface area, where a word problem will have surface area, or it'll have the word total. These words are used interchangeably. So anytime you see the word surface or total surface area, it means the same thing. Okay, and then you have lateral. The only time you will use the lateral surface area formula is if it actually says lateral, or if it tells you like you're wrapping just the outside of a present, or you're trying to do the label of like a can. Basic lateral is everything but the base. So everything but bases. And then the surface area is everything else. Okay, so on this one, we're finding the total surface area. So if we look on here, we're doing the total surface area of a prism. So this is the formula we're going to use, pH plus 2b. So the first thing you need to do to make it very easy on you is all you need to do is you need to find the perimeter, you need to find the height, and you need to find the big B. And you need to make sure you actually know what those letters mean. So your perimeter is basically going to be the perimeter, but make sure you know that when you see this big B, it's perimeter of the base. When you see the height, it's the height of the entire shape. And when you see big B, it's area of the base. Okay? You got to make sure that you know what these letters mean. As long as you know what these letters mean, then you'll be really good. Okay, so I'm going to grab my calculator. Our perimeter, remember we said, is going to be of the base. So I already highlighted our base. So we're going to add 7.5 plus 7.5 because that's for this side and for this side. And then we're going to add 5, and then we're going to add 5, and we get 25. So our P is 25. Remember we said that our height is the height of the entire shape. So the height of the entire shape is going to be 6.5. And then area of the base is going to be the area of this bottom one. So the area of the base is going to be base times height, which is going to be 7.5 times 5. So you have 7.5 times 5. So I have 37.5. Okay, and then all we do is we plug these numbers in. So we have 25. Then we have our height, which is 6.5, plus 2, and our base is 37.5. And when you put this in your calculator, you're literally going to put it in one big old long line so you don't make any mistakes. So 25, and I like to put in parentheses, 25 times 6.5, parentheses plus, parentheses 2 times 37.5, close it, and you get 237.5. And I know that that's the correct answer because my star release question tells me that that's the correct answer. Okay, so on the prisms where the base is a rectangle or a square, you can just say that the base is whatever it's sitting on. But on these, on the triangular prisms where the base is a triangle, your base is the triangle. So they're always going to try to trick you. So this one that it's sitting on right now, that is not its base. This right here is the actual base, okay? So on triangular prisms, you need to sit it up like a can. So like if it's sitting down flat, you got to sit it up like this, and this bottom triangle is going to be its base. So when I'm trying to find my letters, my B, my H, or my big B, I'm going to be doing it for this triangle. So on this one, it actually says lateral. So when we look over here, prism, lateral, we're only going to be using the pH. P and our H. So remember we said that our perimeter is the perimeter of the base. And remember, this is going to try to trick you. It is not this rectangle that's sitting on. It's a triangle. So if I do my perimeter, it would be 5. This side is going to be 5. It's a missing side, but it tells us what the side is right here. So 5 plus 5 plus 6. 5 plus 5 plus 6 gives us 16. So our perimeter is 16. And then remember, our height is the height of the whole shape. So if my base is this one right here, I have to set it up like this in order to find the height. So the height is not 5. You would set this up like a can, and the height would actually be 8. So we have our 8 here, and then all I do is I plug those numbers in. So we have 16 times 8. Is y'all's internet still not working?
No.
16 times 8, and we get 128, which is G, and I know that I got my answer correctly because it says the answer is G. All right, moving to the next question. This one says total surface area. So we're going to be using this formula right here. Remember, that's this formula right here. Prism total. I do not have to memorize it. It's going to be on the mathematics chart. Remember I told you if you have a rectangular prism, just find the one that it's sitting on as its base. So this is our base. So we need to find our P, our H, and our big B. All right, now remember we said our perimeter is the perimeter of the base. This is our base. So we're going to be adding 8.2 plus 8.2 plus 3.4 plus 3.4, and we get 23.2. Our height is going to be our 2, and remember we said that our big B is area of the base. So that's going to be 8.2 times 3.4. 8.2 times 3.4. And we get 27.88. And then all we do is we plug in these numbers. So I have perimeter 23.2 plus 2, times 2 plus 2. And then our base is 27.88. Pull that into our calculator, parentheses, 23.2 times 2, close, plus 2 times 27.88. And we got 102.16. And I know that's my correct answer because it tells me that that's the correct answer right there. Okay, so on this one it says Mr. S wants to paint a storage shed. He needs to calculate the lateral surface area of the shed that he will know how much paint he needs to buy. The shed is in the shape of a rectangular prism. Including the doors, what is the lateral surface area? So we're doing lateral, which is this formula right here. So I'm going to need to find my P and my H. Remember my perimeter, we talk about that, is the perimeter of the base. So the base is like this because it's also the bottom down here, but I can't see that. So the base is going to be 14, and then this side is 7. 14 plus 14 plus 7 plus 7. Perimeter is going to be 42. And then our height is going to be 8. On this one, we just plug our numbers in. 42 times 8. 42 times 8, and I get 336. My answer is D, and I know I have the correct answer because it says that the correct answer is D right there. All right, so now we have cylinders. Let's see here. This one says total surface area. So we're going to look at cylinder total surface area is going to be this one right here. So we have 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. On this question, it doesn't tell us to use 3.14, so we're actually going to use pi. And this one's a little bit easier than the other one because we literally, all we have to do is we have to find our radius, and we have to find our height. So it's going to be 2 pi, our radius is 3, our height, because remember we would pick this up like a can, our height is going to be 15, plus 2 pi, radius we said was 3, and then we're going to square that. Again, we're going to put this all in the calculator together. So it's going to be 2 pi 3 times 15, close it, plus parentheses 2 pi 3 squared, close. And we get 339.3 or 0.29. And that's going to be C. And I know that's the correct answer because it tells me right there. And then our last question, this one wants to know lateral surface area. So if I look for a lateral of a cylinder, it's this formula right here, 2 pi RH. And again, this one's a little bit easier because all I need to find is my radius and my height. So it's going to be 2, and it doesn't tell us to use 3.14 in this question, so I'm going to use the pi sign. So pi. Now on this one, it gives us the diameter. So in order to find the radius, I'm going to need to divide it by 2. Divided by 2, 4.2. 4.2, and then our height, standing it up, it's already stood up like a can, is going to be 10.9. Plug that all into our calculator. 2 pi 4.2 times 10.9. I get 287.64. So my answer is going to be G, and we know that's the correct answer because it tells me that right there. All right, so I'm going to give you some other surface area questions that you can do on your own, and then I'll give you the answer so you can double check your answer, and then let your mom know if you're still confused, and if you are, I'll do another video. Alrighty.